guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, episode 2 in our macro management series. And I wanted to create a little bit of a case study, as I mentioned, Adam, and then we'll start looking at protein as the first macronutrient. So let's say you have a female competitor, bikini competitor. You think her best contest weight is going to be around 115. She's coming to you, let's say 130. So let's just assume, with the kind of algorithms and formulas we talked about last time, that we would say, okay, her calorie needs could be somewhere between 1,150 calories, 1,300 calories, but we know she's going to be training hard and so forth, and she's got more lean body mass activity. So her metabolic rate, she's probably up in the 16, 17, 1,800 calories. You know, that may be where she was maintaining. So we're gonna then say, you know, the calorie deficit that we want, assuming, as you mentioned last time, Adam, that we may not want to start super low, give her a little bit of a transition. Let's say we're going to start her at 1,500 calories. So 130, 135 pounds, trying to get down to 115-ish, starting out at 1,500 calories. Where would you put her protein?
Yeah, so depending on her body type, if she was lean enough last season, let's say she's maybe a little bit of an ectomorph, I might actually put her right at 130. Give her about 15 gram of protein buffer. If she has a slower metabolism, I might put her right at 115, try to spare the rest for carbohydrates, and then fill in the rest of those calories with fat. But it really does depend on the body type of that person. This is where this person's just coming to us. We look at previous photos. I also like to hear a little bit about previous preps as well. Was this person grinding and, maybe eating 800, 900 calories a day for weeks? Have they even recovered from that prep? So these are questions that I just like to ask before even taking a client like this on, because we're already digging pretty deep with our first move, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And you going for somewhere right around body weight with your protein. I've reverse engineered that in all kinds of scenarios to see, because that's just kind of an old, magazine article kind of way of doing it, like 1 gram per pound of body weight, or 2 grams, or 1.5. Those really never had that much of a basis in research. But when you look at the RDA, so if I started and said, okay, at 130 or so pounds, let's put that into kilograms, then 0.8 kilogram or 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram body weight. We would see that the RDA for her is somewhere in the 40s, for protein, maybe 50 grams, 2 times the RDA, which is where most science organizations agree is the better place, for actually thriving, not just maintaining life, but actually, a good level. So now we're at about 100 grams. You could go all the way up to 3 times the RDA, which gets us pretty close to where you are, actually probably almost identical. And that's where most research shows is the maximum ceiling for covering anybody who is kind of an outlier. They're an ectomorph, they're dieting hard, they're training hard. And so two times the RDA is kind of that basement level where you're getting enough, but you could, some people could do better at 3 times. So again, just another way to double check against research and standards, and instead of just, pulling numbers out of the air. But I agree with the scenario that we talked about, and the all the variables, that's a really good level that is moderate to high, and I think that would be perfectly appropriate.
You don't see a lot of people going under 100 grams, but it does happen with us, and that's something good to probably talk about. And do you feel, when we do that with clients, you feel like you're doing something that's culturally wrong in comparison to what everyone else is doing? But from a research standpoint, it definitely holds merit. But I always sometimes feel like when I take someone under 100 grams, no matter their height or body weight, you're going to get that email back like, I'm leaving the team because I've never seen another diet go under 100 grams of protein.
Well, I have a client right now who, in her off season, she's not even 100 pounds. And so at her best body weight, she's around 85. And I too, I'm like, okay, here's how much food you need. And she started gaining weight. And I had to back up and say, well, wait a second, she's only 90 pounds. Of course, she doesn't need this many calories or this much protein. So, I mean, we definitely have to avoid some of those just, cultural bro myth kind of things and say, hey, we can experiment. We can take you a little higher, see how you feel. If you have access to body comp scans, in body DEXA, anything, let's see if we can get any short-term movement here. But that would be exactly how, we would implement at least a good protein recommendation. And in the next 2 episodes, we're going to go through carbs and fat. So we will see you next time in Contest Prep University.